Hi, been reading this morning from Psalm 103, going to read from verse 13. As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. For he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. The life of mortals is like grass. They flourish like a flower in the field. The wind blows it over, and it is gone, and its place remembers it no more. Especially as I was reading verse 15 there, the life of mortals is like grass. Just made me think about these daffodils out the back of our house in the garden. And just a week ago, they were gorgeous. They were beautiful big yellow flowers. Just a few days ago even. And of course, look at them now. They're all dry and shriveled up, and we won't see daffodils there until next year. They were gorgeous, and yet they'd such a short life. And in the psalm that we've just read, it's saying the life of mortals is like that. The life of mortals is like grass. In other words, our lives are not in our hands, only in God's hands. Our life on earth has a beginning and an end. We live eternally in our souls, but our physical bodies will not be here forever. We know that. And that's the way it is. And of course the other thing is that never do we know when our physical life is going to end. God knows, but we don't. Life is always uncertain. And at this particular time, during this crisis over COVID-19 virus, everybody feels how uncertain life is. Everybody's unease. But the fact is, life was just as uncertain last year, and it will be just as uncertain next year as it is during this crisis. Life just is uncertain, and that doesn't suit us. Especially in the Western world, we sometimes forget ourselves, and we think we're in control, and we think because we've a good economy or whatever it is, that it's okay, we have a good health system and so on. But life is always uncertain. We're never in control. People in other countries where I've been in the past, they have a better idea of that. They don't forget. I remember when I lived in Haiti, before every meeting, somebody would say, we thank God that we're here and that we're alive and that he's given us breath this day. And I sometimes thought, oh, sure, we know that, but I was wrong. We should never take that for granted. Life is always uncertain. But then look at the next verse of the psalm, verse 17. But from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear him. So in the midst of the uncertainty, in the midst of us not knowing what each day might bring, in the middle of all of that, we read from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear him. So in the middle of all the uncertainty, forevermore, all the time, we can know a higher certainty, God's love, which is constant and always. And when we trust in him and place our lives in him, then it doesn't matter that physical life is uncertain, because there's a higher certainty and a security that comes from trusting him. Hallelujah.